Hi everyone, my name is Madilynn Baker. For my final project, I created a K-8 interdisciplinary art show and silent auction at Detroit Merit Academy. I've been teaching at DMA for the past 3 years, and the last 2 years I've organized our school's annual art show. Every year it's gotten a little bit bigger, and through this project I wanted to figure out how to make it more meaningful, more connected to what students are learning, and more of a community event instead of something I mostly put together myself. Why this project? I think there are many needs at my school, but being an art teacher puts me in the unique position to make a difference. One thing I really believe in is that art helps students make connections. When I first started the art program, I had to take a literacy class, and honestly my first thoughts were, why am I taking this? I'm an art teacher. But I realized that I do teach literacy, just in a different way. I help build students' background knowledge and connect ideas across subjects. If students are learning about plants, Detroit history, or ecosystems in their classroom, why not reinforce those ideas through art? I think students remember things better than they experience them in different ways, when they experience them in different ways. I also wanted to make the art show something our whole school could be proud of instead of just displaying artwork. I want families, staff, and students to be involved in making it a tradition. In 2015, DMA used to have auctions that raised money that can help support students. I know a lot of teachers have asked me to bring that back, and I am really excited that I got to use this time to plan for that. An overview. Every student in kindergarten through 8th grade will create an individual artwork that connects to a featured artist, the visual art standards, and something they're learning in another class, like science, ELA, or social studies. Each grade level will create one collaborative artwork that will be auctioned off during the art show. The silent auction isn't really the focus of the project. It's just another way to involve families, raise money that can go back to supporting our students. I also want to involve parent volunteers, staff members. For the last 2 years, I've done almost everything myself. And now that I know the process better, I'm comfortable asking other people to help. Student projects are cross-curricular projects. One of my favorite parts of this project is planning lessons that connect art to what students are already learning. For example, kindergarten students learn about butterflies and their life cycles. They have caterpillars in their classrooms that they watch form chrysalises and then hatch and turn into butterflies, and then they release those butterflies sometime at the end of the year. Last year we learned about Jackson Pollock and his action paintings, and we used marbles to make our action paintings, as you can see on the side. Our kindergarten art projects from the art show last year. I did all of those in small groups, so I think I can do the same way with the butterflies with small groups and pre-fold paper, and use what I learned last year with that project and this project. And then for their collaborative auction pieces, kindergarten will be doing fingerprints of birds. Again, small group. I think we could do like colorful birds, a little abstract artwork. I've taken this time to prep the canvases. And then first grade, same thing, but I think of a city background. We can teach a little bit about the depth and the element of art space and the color choices that we use for their fingerprints. Again, each grade level has something, and I do have backups in case. Moving on to technology, this image I took on my phone of the Detroit skyline, and there's this really cool website called Rasterbator, which will enlarge your photos, and so you can print them out on 8.5 by 11s, and each student can individually draw on top of that photograph, but they can also combine it together, so they'll get a small portion, and then we'll work together to put it together to make a collaborative large mural that'll be auctioned off. I'll use School Connect to recruit volunteers to communicate with families. I used Canva to make the digital promotions last year and advertise the event. Our timeline. So this summer I've planned the art show theme, create lesson plans, map out the K-8 project. August and September, everyone goes back to school. It's going to take a little while for us to learn our routines. October through November, we'll start to communicate depending on how my schedule looks like. From Thanksgiving to December, we'll pretty much 4th, 5th grade, and middle school start our projects. And then January through spring break, making sure kindergarten through 3rd grade starts on their projects and start collaborative work as well. After spring break, finish up matting, labeling everything. Spring break is the beginning of April. And then April 21st will be when our art show is. So I'll host the art show. We'll do the silent auction then. And then we like to leave up our art show for a while so that everyone can enjoy it. Maybe they didn't get to come opening night, and when they're up at the school again or walking to class, the students or parents could see artwork still being displayed. And then it is very important to me that I return all of their individual pieces back to them. So I would love to do that by May. Who benefits? I think everyone benefits. Students get to see their artwork displayed professionally, which builds confidence and gives them something to be proud of. Families become more involved because they're invited to the art show and they have opportunities to volunteer. Teachers benefit because they're helping create a positive school environment instead of the art show being something that only I put on. Our school community benefits because it becomes an event that celebrates learning across every grade level. If the silent auction raises money, I'd love to work with our student support coordinators so that there are funds that can help students who need things like winter coats, gloves, food, or other basic necessities. I know in the past we have donated a lot of winter coats to students and families. I know that my admin team and our student support coordinator, Ms. Trevino, would be more than willing to help coordinate and allocate the money raised. What I learned planning this project has given me something I've wanted for a long time, which is the opportunity to really plan my art curriculum before the school year starts. It also reminded me why I became an art teacher. Art just isn't about making something pretty. It's about building confidence, connecting learning, solving problems, and bringing people together. Thank you so much for listening. Like I said, I was really excited to put this project together, and I look forward to implementing it and seeing how the money we raise can support our students.